What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to show you guys an epic way on how to create YouTube thumbnails by using PowerPoint. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, so let's say you're wanting to create a YouTube thumbnail and you want it to just look amazing. Who knows what the video is going to look like, but if the thumbnail looks great, at least you got them to click on it. All right, actually already did a video on this right here, so make sure to check out that video as well if you want to see a different perspective of how I created another thumbnail. But I wanted to share with you guys how I created this particular YouTube thumbnail just because it was one of my favorites, and I'm not sure how I was able to make it like this, but I just did, and I want to share it with you guys. You might think, oh my gosh, Tower, this is over my head in terms of like how you did this. Like, what the heck? Like, you got flames here, you got text all over here, you got your head, you got more flames here, you got image. It's not that complicated. Let me break it down for you guys. I create almost all my YouTube thumbnails in PowerPoint. If you want exclusive access to this actual template, I have a folder that I share with you guys on my Patreon for a very low amount of money. I'll have a video right here explaining kind of how my Patreon works, and if you are interested in that. But pretty much one of the things I include in my Patreon for people that pay for it is this template. So if you do want that, make sure to check it out. Pretty much in this image right here, what I thought of was, okay, what is my video idea? I am interviewing my video editor, Harvin, which if you haven't seen that video, right here as well. And it was awesome. I wanted to make sure it's lit, you know, on fire, explosive, just really cool, make you interested in wanting to click on that thumbnail. I could just say, hey, here it is, like, here's my video editor, like, whatever. I want to leave some mystery. I want to leave some excitement, some animation, some movement in the image. So I try to go for that. So one of the go-to places I like to go to is Unsplash, Pexels, Pixabay. There's also a bunch of other free royalty site images out there, but those are kind of like my top three that I like to use. You go here, you type in Chrome, Unsplash, okay? And for this scenario, I'm actually doing video editing. So let me type in video editing and let's just see what pops up. Okay, so as you can see right here, this is the actual image I used for this one right here. So it didn't take me too long to find an image I want. It's not always that easy to find an image that you like because, you know, sometimes you'll bring in an image, you'll try to put stuff over it, and it's just too busy, it's overwhelming. Like, mind you, this thumbnail right here, it's kind of busy as well. What you're going to do is you just want to scroll through here, see something that pops out to you, and try to imagine like what it would look like with text on top of it. You don't have to always like just picture in your head. You can always download it, put it in PowerPoint, see how it looks. And the reason why this one stood out to me, if I can find it again, this one right here, is because I saw this blank space right here where I could put like maybe my face pointing to something and then, you know, showing Premiere Pro, which is my go-to video editor. So I'm going to download this right here. It's going to then download down below. What you're then want to do is just click and drag it over into PowerPoint, and bam, there it's in PowerPoint. And I'm just going to show you guys side by side on how I did all this and create a new slide. And we're just going to get rid of this, and then we're going to copy this image and put it on the slide. So let's increase this because I want to make sure that, you know, it's kind of emphasized on the screen. So I'm going to crop it. Then what you're going to need is you're going to need like all these like crazy headshot images. Okay, you know, I put them in some of them, sometimes I don't, sometimes I just, there's not enough space. So it just depends on what your brand is. If all your thumbnails have images of you in them, you might want to keep going with that trend, just because when someone sees that thumbnail and they know you, they're going to want to click on it because they can recognize that thumbnail. If they don't, and you have it like this, they don't know who that was, maybe they won't click on it. So I've just been kind of experimenting, and sometimes I see space to add it, sometimes I don't. Sometimes people are like, what are you doing? I don't want that in there. So it's just up to you guys. All right, so next what you're going to do is you're going to actually add in some text. So I'm going to add in this text right here and paste it in. And you're going to probably be like, Tower, not fair. Okay, you just took that from your thumbnail you already created. And that is true. Adding in text sometimes is not that easy, and figuring out how much text to add, where to put the text. Is it easy to read? Does it stand out in the thumbnail? Bigger is usually always better when it comes to text. Make sure you don't have that much text. This is actually kind of pushing it, to be honest with you guys. Like, if you just have 2 words, golden. If you have more than that, It's okay, but just try to minimize the amount of text you have and make it as big as possible and easy to read. So the type of fonts I like to use are Lato, and then I also have been getting into another font called Montserrat. This font right here. You can download all these fonts on just Google Fonts, or just type in Montserrat on Google and say download font Montserrat, and you should be able to find it. So let me know if you do have any questions. I can, let you guys know how to figure that out. But pretty much you just download the types of fonts you like. Lato is also my favorite. Sometimes you might want a more attractive or enticing title like Confronting My Video Editor, or Top 5 Secrets, or Hidden Ideas. Something that just like makes you want to click on that. Interviewing My Video Editor, I'll admit, not the most enticing thing to click on. Like, cool, I'm gonna click on it, but I don't know. Like, I probably could have done better, but that's just kind of what I went with. Once you get your text in there, great. And what you can kind of do is look at other thumbnails and styles that you like from other creators that you like. A lot of times, their thumbnails may seem super complicated to make, but in PowerPoint, there's a lot of different capabilities here. So you can add boxes behind your text like this, so that if you want to switch it up and not just have all like white text, you can put a white rectangle in there. So if you just go here to insert, shapes, rectangle, you can create one, and then you can add text in there and increase it, adjust the size, and then just make it white, outline, change the text color to be black, bold it, and then you could say Lato, bam, there you go. Okay. So in this case, the reason why I didn't actually type text in the box itself is because I like to manipulate how this text is positioned in the box. So that's just a preference of mine. So I'll create text and a box separately and then kind of stack them on top of each other. And then what I also do is, so as you can see here, if I get rid of this, it might not be as easy to see editor or read it. Highlighting your entire text and then clicking on text shadow right up here. That's gonna allow the text to pop out of the image a little bit, also give a little bit more shading. If you wanna actually add more text shadow than what the default gives you, you can go here to format shape, text options, right here to text effects, shadow, and then you can increase the transparency, the blur, and then that way, you're getting some crazy effects here, okay? So that's just a way for the text to pop out even more. You can actually add a gradient to text as well if you want. So you can get super fancy with that text options. And again, all you do is highlight it, right click, and then you can do format text effects, and then there you go. You're all set. Now what I need is, I need a headshot. Well, Tyler, how do I get a headshot? Well, if you have a phone, or if you know your parents that have a phone, or someone that has a phone or a camera or whatever it may be, borrow that, okay? Just take a bunch of selfies, be like, hey, how's it going? Woo! Any type of emotion you can think of, just take it. And then build a repository of all those images. If you need to remove the background of that image, like let's say in this scenario, I have a green screen behind me. You guys can't see it because it's keyed out, but pretty much you're going to just take a bunch of photos, remove the background of them, and then that way you have a bunch of headshots with transparent backgrounds. If you want to know how to do that, I have a video to it right here. Super easy tutorial on how to do it. You can even clean up your blemishes, all of that. I have a whole type of list of tutorials on how to do that to clean up your headshots. Sometimes I'll actually add this glow effect. So if you right click, go to format picture, shadow, and sometimes I just pick this default, or if it's like on the left side or right side, I may depend on like, offset to the top right, offset to the top left, whatever you feel like. And then I lower transparency, increase the size, and that's kind of how you can do that. And then sometimes if I want a little bit extra sauce to that, I'll add a glow and I'll make sure it's like a white glow. So you just pick any of these, change the color to white, and then you can increase the size, transparency, like, how intense you want it. I'm not gonna lie, you guys, it can get a little cheesy the more glow you add, but it's fine. Like, it is what it is. So just do it at your own will. So in this scenario, I didn't add any glow, okay? And as you can see here, this could be a thumbnail, but the problem is that you don't want your thumbnails to be that dark, okay? There's kind of a rule of thumb where you want the color of your thumbnail to be super poppy, bright, stand out, not blend in. You don't want to blend in with the rest of the folks on YouTube, okay? That's not how they're gonna click on your video. You're just gonna be another image that they may just gloss over. So it's all dark in here. You need to liven it up. So as you can see right here, I have this gradient in the background. So how did I make this? Well, you just kind of make a box. So you go here, insert shapes, box, and in this case, I'll just go like this. And so I'm just gonna copy this over real quick just because I don't want to waste time for you guys. So pretty much what this is just a gradient. Okay, so if I go here to Format Painter, click on this, and then let me rotate this real quick, and go to Format Shape, no line, and send to back, and then send to back. Okay, cool. So that is how I kind of got that effect right there. All right, so once you have it behind your headshot and the text, I'm just gonna show you guys real quick what this gradient looks like. I got black right here. So if I decrease the transparency, you're gonna see that black come through more. I don't want that. And then you're also gonna see this red. I kind of increase the transparency to 100%. And then this yellow, I have at 0. So I just kind of a slight subtle effect with an angle of 45. I like to kind of, you know, have an angle, or you can even switch it up. You could have it come on top. That's also kind of cool. And then just kind of have it like fade in. You know, that stands out. I actually might like that better. You never know. You just kind of have to play around with the gradients. But that way, you know, having this in comparison to just that, that's boring. Okay, we don't want that. We need a little bit of pop, at least a little. And then I was looking at this, I was like, all right, this looks great. And to be honest, you don't want to usually add that many things to a thumbnail, but I was like, screw it. I want this one to just look really cool. So I was like, let me add some flames. Flames, PNG, and you go to images. I'm trying to think if I have that same one. It might be. So not that one. So this one, this is an option. Copy image. It's not the same one, but I just want to show you guys. And look at that. That looks cool. Okay. So you can increase this image, and then you could have it like that, that's cool. And if you put in presentation mode, that's what it looks like. Kind of cool, not gonna lie. So you can see how adding different components like that can just make or break a whole entire thumbnail. Then for this right here, again, I just did the same thing. Instead, I just typed in Sparks PNG, found something, and then just added on top. So you don't need to go into Photoshop or, you know, get some brushes and get all fancy with the flames or the effects, wherever it is. Just Google is your best friend with this. Find what kind of things you can add to your thumbnail to make it pop. With all these, you know, this was just my inspiration was this image right here. That's how I got inspired to create this actual thumbnail. So sometimes just search the kind of topic that your video is on in Unsplash, Pexels, Pixabay, whatever it is, and you might get some inspiration as to like what the thumbnail is going to actually look like. Do you think I planned out this thumbnail and the image of what it looked like before I even came up with the video? Definitely not. That's not usually how it works for me. It may for other people, but it doesn't for me. So I try my best to make them stand out. By any means, I probably oversimplified the process of actually creating a thumbnail because, mind you, this is not an easy task. This can sometimes take me 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. But if that means that you're going to click on it, it's worth it, because let's say I put up something that's not that enticing. I have a really great video, but not a great thumbnail. Well, say goodbye to all that hard work because no one's gonna click on it. So with that being said, I hope you guys did find this video helpful. If you did like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you could subscribe, I would greatly appreciate the support. Also, if you are interested in learning all things about PowerPoint, I do have a course on Udemy, so I'll link to that in the description below. But without further ado, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I hope to see you guys in future videos. Thanks.